from my experience anyway.
The shame is all the clearing and adjustments your mind goes through. Amma.
Say that again.
The feelings of disgust and aversion is what the mind goes through as it's sorting out everything that you were led to believe this is, but it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney, would you mind not smoking on camera during the call? You can help.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. If there's any way that you can turn when you smoke instead of having that on camera, because this is the urine therapy call, and I'd like to just keep the focus on the talk today.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not smoking, right? But that's okay. I mean, I'll do what you ask.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'll do what you ask out of respect. That's no problem.
Thank you. It's the same thing I'm asking people, because people forget this is a professional recording. This is going worldwide. And we sometimes have people who are eating on camera. We have people doing yoga on camera. They're going about their lives without regard to, this is a lot of people who came to this and took time aside and they want to be part of this.
And is there, like I said, this is my first Zoom call. Is there any background noise? Can you hear yourself talking or anything like that?
Can I hear myself talking?
No. Yeah, when through the speaker, right?
Yeah, you can.
So when you talk, you can hear yourself talk, is what you're saying to me?
Yeah. Well, when you're talking, can you hear yourself talk?
Yeah. But I'm saying through the program, right? Like through Zoom, is it double backing or whatever?
All I know is that
I don't think it is.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, good. Cool.
I'm glad.
That's all. Like I said, I'm just new to Zoom, so I just
it's always best to it's always best to mute yourself when you're not talking, just in case.
All right, I'm going to go over that.
Be a problem
at the beginning when I talk about the etiquette of the call.
Sure.
Because some people, and I feel that everybody who comes to these calls were called to come to this call, and some people want to be a fly in the wall, and they simply leave their avatar up and they mute their camera and their microphone. So whatever works for you. But Daniel, he's part of our tribe, so I know he'll have some words to share at some point. And we're going to be doing this a bunch of times. And we're going to talk about this today. And we're expecting some people from different countries that will be joining us. You got that. Woohoo! Fantastic. Now, in case you didn't know, Amma and Sydney, I copyrighted this expression. So I own the copyright. If anybody wants to use this expression, you got my blessings. Run like hell with it. Okay? Urine therapy does, but the other thing I got a copyright on is this expression. Nike, just drink it. Just drink it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very exciting times today. So let me turn off the recording. All right. Matt Sananda is in the house. It's Swami.
You mind if I quickly say something to Amma?
Go right ahead. We're moving in forward anyway.
Okay. So I would say, though, feel free to tell your partner. Daniel says, don't do it, though. Don't do that thing. Like, yes, it's true. If you get the injection and you do urine therapy, it'll help, but you're way better off not doing it. And how dare an employer tell him he has to do that? If he has to quit his job over that, just quit it. He's not a slave. You just don't have a slave mentality, have a son mentality. And sons don't let people do that to them.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations about it, and it's like, on one hand, there's like facing the fear of what will happen if you quit your job and where you're going to get money, if you decide not to take it. And then on the other hand, I think for him, it's like facing the fear of like getting this shot and trusting himself to be able to heal himself. So it's like, I get where he's coming from, but I see it the same way that you do. Like I would be quitting my job for sure. I wouldn't do it
And
But
my brother's, as far as I know, my brother's going to be working till the 20th, and then he'll be off his job. Like, he's not getting that injection, and nor should he. So I just say, just feel free to say, tell him that Daniel Robbins said, absolutely do not do that.
thank you. Yeah, I'm with you.
And so my brother and I also like to say both ends. So it's really even, I guess, both refuse the jab and practice the Urine therapy, and so definitely do this,
Hmm.
but don't do that. You got that, Alma?
Yeah, I'll keep working on it. Thank you.
You're going to talk to the part of him that understands what we all understand, and not the part that's scared and on defense mode. Because you can talk to his higher self and he'll get it. And you have to look at your attachment to him having to align with you and make this life-saving decision. And we know that Shivambu is the prevention and cure of all illnesses. For people who have a strong life urge and a strong immune system, this might be nothing for us. But in either case, you want to know you want them to know his options. Welcome to the call, everybody. Gemma, Sophina, Matt, Marie, Daniel, Amma, Sydney. We're going to wait a couple more minutes to see who's jumping on this morning. You all brought your water. Matt's got a mouthful. We can tell. Swishing away. He's doing his internal mouth mantra. So I've got the script. I wrote it down 2 days ago. We're going to have some great questions, and you guys have the option whether do you wish to answer the questions or not answer the questions, or let's play Stump the Host and ask a question, try to stump the host. We're hoping that Harry Matadine makes the call. He said he wants to be on this call. Don't know his timing out in UK. Anybody know what time it is in UK right now? It's like 8 hours ahead.
5, I think.
5 hours ahead from New York, or?
Yeah, oh yeah, from New York.
Okay. In either case, we're going to send our love and our appreciation to Harry. He's been knocking out some great interviews. Thank you, Gemma. Let's see. Who do you had an interview with? Sarah Smiled. Have you guys met her yet?
Just over Facebook.
Okay, Sarah Smiled. That's not a real name, but who cares? She lives in Louisiana. And she showed up on the scene, and she's just been pumping out content after content, and her writings and her videos, and she's going at it 100%. So if you ever get a chance to reach out to her, yeah, please do that. All right, let's see who's.
It's about 5:30 in the UK, right?
It is 5:30 in the UK. We're going to wait a couple more minutes before we actually do this today. So how are you guys feeling today?
Yeah, it's good to be here. Been all over the map, but my diet has been more consistent. So all good.
Cool. I've been getting contacted with more and more students around the world that are doing fasting, that are doing the urine fast, that are doing intermittent fasting. More and more people are stepping away from slavery to food. And it's very exciting that you can take your power back from any external force, including food, people, the world, narratives, all that crap. And I caution my friends who are really chasing after the truther movement and the freedom fighters and the patriot movement, and I'm trying to get across to them is that wherever you're getting your information, it's still a distraction. It's external information, and it's just going to rattle around in your brain, and you'll forget what you're doing and your purpose and the joy that you can have. So be careful where you put your attention and your focus. I kind of get putting my attention on you guys a lot. What's that all about?
I really appreciate that perspective. I only have the strength to bring in new information when I gather the strength within myself.
Mm-hmm. Now, the last couple days, I was putting out messages to some of the friends and close people I know that are rock stars. They're putting out a lot of content. They went viral. Their name went out there. They became really popular. They're riding that wave. And I've seen some of my friends crash and burn. They didn't work on their personal issues. They didn't clear what was underneath everything before their ego went into, into overdrive. And some of them broke down. Some of them cracked. And some of them just had to get off social media. So pace yourself. Pace your enthusiasm. Pace the content posting. I'm talking to myself here. It's real easy because social media is a drug. He knows. Matt knows. If you're not careful, it sucks hours out of your day. So you got to get in the habit of knowing when to walk away from the screen, go for a hike, be out in nature barefoot. You guys still getting hugs, by the way?
Definitely.
Give Matt a hug. Give him a hug. Yeah, I have been. My only source of hugs right now is my roommates and my clients. So I had 2 massage clients yesterday, and they're willing to double dip. So I got like 5 hugs yesterday. I'm the guy who was always seen at the farmer's market hugging everybody and standing on the corner hugging everybody, and it felt like something was empty in me because I wasn't getting that human connection in that. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Sophina jumped and she came back on. Sophina, welcome back. There she is. Hi, Sophina. There's some superstars that have showed up on the scene. There's a gal named, is it Emma Ray? I have to think of their name. I'm being contacted by these 25 and 28-year-olds that got into urine therapy, and they're on fire. They want to tell the world. They know it's their mission. They know it's their calling. They're going, Brother Sage, what do I do? I said, that's simple. Are you got your sleeves rolled up? I mean, Matt knows, you've been in this position. You get all excited, and you want to know what to do with it. And I'm going to say, well, what do you know about the subject? You got a grasp on it? Do you feel confident? Do you feel certain? Are you ready to start talking to the world? Because when I said that, as soon as you're ready, you get on the directory, your name gets out there, you start showing up and putting content on social media. It's not going to be too long ago that you're going to be one of these interviews like Matt and Harry and myself and Tuche. And, Monica's trying to set up a conference with me. Monica's shooting Brother Sage, having a one-on-one. I've waited 4 years for that moment.
I know.
She's a slippery sister. Love her dearly, but she's been like, whatever the resistance is, I have no idea. So you froze, Matt.
I did? Or it's just I have a very slow smile?
Yeah, he's practicing that slowness thing pretty well. All right, guys. This might be our group today. I have no idea. But let's do this. I'm going to get started on the beginning part of this call. Do you guys have an hour to be here?
Yes.
Okay. It may go an hour, it may go more than an hour. We're just going to play it by ear. So, and I want to thank those that have been supporting me as a messenger and the message by sending donations. I appreciate it because that supports my work. Most of my work is on donation basis. I guess this is what ministers do. And so it's been great for getting the support from some of you guys, all of you guys, however it is. Thank you very much. Okay, here's simple etiquette for our calls. Is there a raise hand icon on your screen? Show me how it works. Can you? All right, and then Matt, are you guys able to turn it off, or do I have to turn it off?
Yeah, so you go to reactions and it's at the bottom, and I can turn it on and off from there. I don't know about your controls though, but I think there is a way.
Yeah. Okay. We'll figure it out as we go.
I'm on my cell phone, and when I go to more, the 3 icons, then it says raise hand or lower hand.
Okay. If you can figure out the icon, groovy. If not, old school, works really good for me. The whole idea is to recognize you. The other thing is if somebody is ranting a little bit too much past their ranting window, I might shut them down. So I want you to know that I'm the host, dude. So I get a little bit of mini control on this call. So whatever that means. If you're going to, if you want to eat, if you want to do yoga, if you want to do anything, please mute your camera and microphone so people don't get distracted. And we want to avoid background noise. Some people, what they do, I love it, everybody's muted. It keeps the background noise out because some people have kids, they run in and out, they got dogs on their lap, they got a radio in the back, their husband's watching something. So yeah, we want to keep that down to a minimum. The call is being recorded. I guess I don't have to tell you guys, but there are some guys that somehow they get on these calls and they have no clue the subject matter. So to avoid you guys saying, well, I don't know where I am. Is this like the urine therapy recovery group? I don't know what group I came into. I'm practicing PA, Pee Drinkers Anonymous. So if you know why you're here, then don't worry about it. We are representatives of the worldwide water family. We'll be discussing Urine. If you got on the call by mistake, either open your mind or adios, because we want people who want to be here. All right, let's start. Well, take a couple deep breaths, guys. We're going to get present here in just in a now. We're getting present here. I hope you guys are meditators. We need you to practice getting still more often. So the reason to take our deep breaths is so you can get present, so you can get comfortable, and then we can get started. Now I'm going to pull out a prayer. Some of you guys know this prayer. Anybody seen this book? It's in this book. It's page whatever, XC1, page X1B. Okay, here's Sydney. You have some water with you? Oh, he's making some.
It's coming down the pipeline, right?
No problem. See, we're in real time. This is great. All right, so this is how this works. We're going to do a caller response. Hi, Jim. We're going to do a caller response from this book. Doesn't matter if you have it or not. So I'm going to read a line. You're going to follow it. You're going to repeat it, and then we're going to do a toast. Here we go. I take this water of life. Could you unmute yourself? This sounds great when we all say it together. I take this water of life.
I take this water of life.
Sophina? That's okay. She's going to try to unmute her microphone. Look at that. This is like advanced yoga for her. This is what happens. You get comfortable in your bed. You don't want to move for any reason. Here we go. I take this water of life.
I take this water
I
of
take
life.
this water of life.
I declare it the water of light.
I declare it the water of light.
As I bring this water within this body,
And this water was
within
this body.
it allows me to glow.
It allows me
to glow.
I take this water of light.
take this water of light.
Take this water of light.
I declare it the water of God.
I declare it the water of God.
Hold on, I gotta let Sophina in. It looks like she jumped to another channel. I am the master of all that I do and all that I am.
I'm the master of all that I do and all that I am.
Cheers, my friends. The golden nectar. And how many, is your water taste like sweet coconut water yet? Have you gotten to that point?
No.
Just not today, Sage.
Not today. Get back to me in 24 hours. And we're not
I've been cutting down on the amount of water I've been drinking. Good and concentrated is the vibe.
Excellent, excellent. How many of you are able to leave it in your mouth for more than a few seconds?
Oh, for sure.
For sure. When you get up to a 10-minute pulling in your mouth, you get the back taste, the subtle taste, the barely taste. Before she knows what I'm talking about. You're going, where'd that come from? That's interesting. And you're just tracking it and following around. Amazing. All right. So here's a few announcements, and then we're going to get into the conversation here. Some of you know I've been teaching a urine therapy training course. We've got 2 courses running back to back. The first group of students, the first 4 group, is about to graduate on Tuesday. The next group, which Sarah is part of, is going to graduate on the 9th. No, she's going to graduate on the 6th, on the 14th, and then a third group with 3 students so far is going to join in on the 24th till February the 9th. So if you know anybody who wants to take urine therapy training course from me, this is the textbook. And anybody who takes a class gets free PDF versions of both of my books so that you can read along and do your thing. My books are currently available in English, Spanish, and French, and I've got someone translating it in Japanese, Portuguese, and German. We've had 2 attempts to put my books in audio books, but some people, they bail. I don't know what's going on.
You're high vibe, Sage. It's like people go, there's no reason why I wouldn't want to do this. And then like ego just doesn't like you forget about the date or something comes up. It's like life conspiring, man. It's not even people's minds. I think they love you, brother. Don't take it personal.
I won't take it personal. I caught a reading this morning. The person says, there's something that you're working on, may not be something that was an original piece or may not be for you to put any more energy into it. You might have to drop it. I'm going, okay, I'm gonna look through all that and see if there's something going on there.
I think you already accomplished that one with the microgreens abandonment for urine therapy. Man, that's a story. You should tell her about that.
What? Am I supposed to tell a different story now?
Oh, you just told me that story about when you were like really into microgreens and like spent a lot of time starting up your business and then you got called into urine therapy. I'm not sure you mentioned that on these calls yet.
Okay, in 2013 and 2014, I started a company called Activated Living Microgreens, and it was I discovered that there's no such thing as hemp sprouts in America. And after doing some research and some lab testing, I found out there was more nutritional power in hemp as a sprout than it was as a seed or a flower, and all the hemp products coming in the United States was sterilized. And so until it became legal for Colorado and Kentucky and farmers to produce hemp in the United States, I was sourcing it from Serbia and various countries and put together a board of directors, and we had a whole structure where we got the warehouse set up. We were about to go into full-out production. We got the business plan. We were putting the funding together. And then urine therapy just, boom, got my attention big time, and we all disbanded the company. And in 2017, I show up on the scene with my book and haven't turned back since.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, just to give it all up. Good for you.
Yeah, got to learn as you go. Now, the Shivanbu Hut, anybody familiar with the Shivanbu Hut? Yes, the Shivambu Hut is a social media platform that our guys over at the Shivambu organization have put together. There are currently 473 members. We had 250 something members join in the last like 6 months. And what's happening is I post content, they post content, and then they talk to each other to give each other support and love and whatever else they need from each other. So if you want to join the Shivambu Hut, it's free. You go to shivambu.org and there's a free link. There's a link where you can sign up. Okay, we're going to give everybody 2 minutes on the spotlight here. Now, what I've done in a lot of these calls is I give everybody a chance to tell us your journey, how you got into this, you know, what changed your life, why are you involved with this, da-da-da-da. We're going to do it a little different today so we can cover a bunch more subjects. So what I'd like you to do is take 1 to 2 minutes, tell us your name, your location, and there is Harry. We're still going to do this. Now, we get the UK brother, and he has not been shy about water and use of water. He's the big H. Lavender Harry. Harry, welcome to the call.
Hey guys, apologise for being late. Hello, everybody. I can see Matt Seddo here. I recognise that face.
Harry, it's good to see you, brother. It's been too long, yes.
Oh God, yeah, exactly.
I'm catching up to you, aren't I?
So what's everyone been chatting about?
All right. Well,
Go be in.
perfect timing, Harry. This is what we're going to do. We're at the part and who is this?
Brother Sage, 1 second. Do you recognise his face?
Hello, Brother Sage.
Do you recognise it?
How lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too. Glad you're in the family.
Yeah.
Do you recognise who that is, Brother Sage?
Amanda B.
Mhm.
I'm sure I was friends with you. I'm sure of it.
Well, yes, you are, and you'll always will be friends of mine.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, we do the age you're in, both of us. We're into the age and all that kind of stuff. You've got really old ones, haven't you? Collection.
I've
Really
got, yeah, a few years old now.
Yeah.
Are you guys fasting on aged?
No, not yet. We talked about it though. We're going to. Mhm.
We've been celebrating with food, basically.
Yeah, eating too much food. But hey, as long as you've got the aged and you're good to go, so it's all good. Yeah.
And you keep it in plastic, as we already discussed.
Oh, well, we'll never forget Brother Sage's quote. Plastic is more powerful than Shivambu. Boom. Sorry.
Booyah.
Shivambu is more powerful than plastic.
Okay, you got a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, more up the
It'll
nose.
actually make a coating on it, wouldn't it?
You need more up the nose. You got dyslexic for a second. So we're taking this time. Good timing here. We're asking everybody to take 1 to 2 minutes. Tell us your name, where you're located, and what is your favorite UT protocol and why. Since Harry, your line is unmuted, why don't you guys start first?
Okay, so what was the questions again, guys? Sorry. Why you got into urine therapy?
Your name, your location, and your favorite UT protocol and why.
Okay. My name's Harry. Brand name's List Scale with Harry on Facebook and Instagram. And that's the first thing. Fresh is good, but age is my jam. So I wrote books on it. And my favorite way to take it at the moment, I have loads, but my most popular way to take it, I guess, is drinking it. Nice and simple. And I like the fact that people in our community seem to think that drinking aged urine is not recommended. It's only for the skin. And I think a lot of people watching this will find out already know that aged urine drinking, nothing wrong with it. It's all good. So I like that. It's powerful and it's good to break dogma within our community. So drink up on the aged. It's amazing.
Thank you. We're going to go.
I'm Amanda B. We're in Newquay, Cornwall. And I love doing everything with it. Every orifice. In fact, I really like enemas with it at the moment. That's what I'm doing a lot of. But I like to drink it as well. When it gets older, it really does like a nice wine. Nice fine little glass, you know, having to none of your half-gallon pots or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to put it in my ears. I don't put it up my nose that as much as I should.
We just want your favorite for now. We're going to keep the list short.
All right. Then. Well, I do it all.
Drink
At the
it.
moment, my favorite is enemas.
Enemas, okay. Age-rate enemas.
Thank you. Sydney, let us know your name, location, and your favorite protocol.
Yeah, my name is and I do, so you should do that too.
Could you repeat the protocol? You got cut off for a second.
Oh, okay, sure. So yeah, usually I'll wake up in the morning, right? And I'll drink the morning brew, and then I'll loop that for, of course I was fasting for 8 hours before while I was sleeping, right? So I'll wake up, I'm already 8 hours fasted, then I'll go another half day doing the urine looping, and then by then all my guts and stuff are cleaned out. Then I just pretty much do what I want after that, you know, but I do that protocol every single day.
Nice. Who wants to go next? Daniel?
I'm Daniel. I'm in Winnipeg, and I guess if there's anything I do, you know, for the most part, it would be loop. So.
Thank you. Matt?
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm in New York City. I'd say enemas, my favorite aged enemas, especially because I was pretty like coming to terms with finally saying it, like addicted to coffee enemas. And really the worst part about that seems to be the acidity of it. And I'm becoming so much clearer lately on like what alkalinity means and the depth of that. Basically all thanks to urine therapy. So that's been interesting lately. Yeah.
Thank you. Sofina, time to sit up and tell us who you are, where you're located, and your favorite protocol.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sofina. I am in Puerto Rico, and my favorite protocol at the moment is sniffing the aged urine. It just wakes me up. It clears me up. It's amazing. So that's my gig for right now.
Awesome. Thank you. We're going to get into
You're
one or
welcome.
two, we're going to get into one or two more people. How many of you people are using the cotton ball as a way to sniff it up your nose?
Not yet. It's a good idea.
Very simple. I would demonstrate, except I don't want things spilling on my notes. But it's very simple. I keep these in my car, my backpack, wherever I go. If you need to get yourself back online, your brain fog, you either want to have either a dropper bottle with your aged urine in it, so you can take a full drop under the tongue, or get some up your nose as soon as you can. And I've noticed that the energy returns, the brain gets clear, and things move steadily throughout the day, as long as you, thank you, as long as you don't get toxed out during the day, one way or the other. Is there anyone else didn't get a chance to tell us who you are and where you're from and your favorite protocol? Thomas is just jumping on. Jem, do you want to say hi? She's going to be a gem on the wall there. Some people are flies. All right, let's get into some questions here. Now I'm going to ask some questions throughout this call today. There's Thomas. And anybody can answer the question. It's not in any particular order, and not everybody has to answer these questions. Let's see if Thomas wants to present himself. He's connecting. All right, here's the question. Number one, there's several parts to it. Who is practicing nose drinking? No sniffing, no snorting, no neti potting? That's pretty much everybody. All right. Are you drinking, sniffing, snorting, or using a neti pot or your hand? How are you getting it up your nose? Can't hear you, Harry.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm kind of lazy with my urotherapy protocols at phase of my life. I'm going through a lazy phase where I'm just drinking aged urine and massaging, and I'm not doing the neti pot. But shout out to Matt over here, because he's really strong on the aged urine nebulizers for fever. So I bought one, and I'm going to start getting back on the aged urine nebulizing for fever, because it's really powerful way. Probably one of the most powerful.
Thanks.
Would you guys reckon of that?
For the shout out. It's very powerful, which is an excellent excuse to not do it so often, which is an excuse I have to employ. Boy, yeah, I mean, it's emotional. It's not just getting sick. It's all the way through. You know how like getting a fever can be a spiritual experience? Like, yeah, it's like a drug, man. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what you said, isn't it? Because it makes this liquid into a gas, isn't it? The aged urine is very powerful. It goes right into lungs, and it detoxes you to a very heavy level. And like you said, Matt, you don't need to do it all the time. But I think everyone needs to experience the power of aged urine nebulizing and getting a fever through it.
Oh, I mean,
to know the power of it.
That was the big like awakening for me in terms of deciding that I was gonna speak out about urine therapy and health in general, because I realized that probably a lot of what we consider viral illness is a detoxification reaction, if not the whole damn thing. I mean, and that realization, that visceral realization, is super valuable. That's why I'm passionate about talking about it, so people can feel that it's all detox. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, no worries, but
So how many of you, when you started doing the up the nose, had to bump up to that sting, that sharp sting, because your sinuses are dry and you've got mucus and phlegm in your brain? Well, the majority of people will tell you, oh my God, it stung. It's the same when some people first start doing aged urine. They go, well, I got the sting, but that's not the invitation to quit. That's the invitation to repeat it, so your body adjusts to the new influx of hydration, minerals, nutrients, etc., etc. Did you guys have to deal with the sting when you started up the nose?
Well, I was doing fresh.
Oh, yeah.
When I was drinking through the nose, I was doing fresh, And I'm not talking about a couple drops. I'm talking about I would pee into a glass about 20 ounces and I'd down all of it through the nose, right? This was early on. I've been doing this for about 7 years. So I don't know. I've done some age stuff too, but I've had better success with fresh personally.
Yeah, well, there's various ways to do the nose thing. How many of you guys are using glasses or water bottles? Yeah, like that. Did you guys ever study Samuel G. Cohen? He had a website going for a while. I think it's down right now. You'll have to check. It's drinkingthroughthenose.com. And one of the things that he was demonstrating, it actually does work, is you put some in your mouth, close your mouth, bring it up to one nostril or the other nostril, close the other nostril, and that'll force it up higher into the brain regions and then behind the throat, down the throat. And then when you're done, swallow what's in your mouth. And so if you ever want to give that a try, let me know how that works for you.
Some in the mouth.
You put
Close
some in
the
the mouth.
nostril.
Close the mouth.
Close one nostril, up the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and get used to using this muscle up here so you can snort it up higher.
Yeah, I just recently quit smoking weed, so the pain of it has been really bad, and I expect that to go down because of quitting. So I hope to get into this soon because I'm like, yeah, I feel behind.
And you're also a singer, and you use your voice a lot.
Yeah, for some reason it just burns to high hell. It's really bad for me.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you have a remedy.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, next question, guys. How many of you are telling others about urine therapy? And what kind of reactions are you getting from others when you mention drinking your pee? Anybody want to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, so I do a lot of stuff on Discord, right? So if you're unfamiliar with Discord, it's very similar to Zoom or Skype. So yeah, I'm a part of many communities that I have to go around and preach to. And we do talks on, distilled water. We do, of course, the Shivambu. And then we take it even deeper than that as far as eliminating toxins from our environment through the things like tap water showers, all the hygiene products that are just a lie, complete waste of money, poison, so that's kind of like the stuff that I've been doing. As far as the reactions go, it's kind of mixed. I feel like the living God has put me around people that I need to be around, that are ready to hear it, right? They're very strong in the faith, you know what I mean? So I'm very blessed to be able to do this. And hopefully as you guys grow and become, the perfect creation that you truly are, right? You'll be able to share the wisdom through your own personal experience. And I think that's what's really important, and I don't really like to get religious on people, but you have to first love yourself to truly understand how to properly love somebody else. So you've never heard that take on it, right? That's what really spoke to me when God revealed that wisdom to me, that I've got to love myself and gain this personal knowledge and experience to properly be able to present such, profound wisdoms to somebody else. And like I said, the majority, they're not ready to hear about the urine. You know what I mean? They're not ready for it. But I'll find myself in the health and fitness communities. They're doing the diets and all this stuff was, if your government's teaching you that you're 60-70% water, why aren't they telling you the best kind to drink? You know what I mean? So it's just a lot out there. There's different levels to the truth for everybody. So I think it's fascinating.
Thank you. I would say we all know why big pharma and the medical industry and the powers to be don't want you to know that you can be free from their tyranny. You don't have to rely to an outside force anymore. Thanks to Shivambu, you're a self-regenerating, self-enclosed machine. There's nothing you cannot do or accomplish. So thank you for the preaching today, Sydney. By the way, you look like either a disciple of Christ or little John from Sherwood Forest. I love the hood. I love the hood. All right, next question. So you're either telling people about this or you're going to keep it your lifestyle a secret. And you get to a point where you're going to explode. You're going to pee all over yourself. You got to get somebody up to speed with this. And it's like for me, it's a ministry. We're going around and we're waking people up and we're planting the seed in them. And so you don't know where the seed's going to grow. And why would you want to not tell them? You got nothing to lose. Everybody knows you drink your pee, so get off of it. Start telling people.
Can I interject just to say that, Brother Sage, you've inspired me with all the activism you've done with urine therapy to give me the idea because I'm in London now. So I want to, and there's no urine therapy meetups in the physical in London. So I've got a big 8 million, 9 million people to work with here. And starting on 23rd of January, every 2 weeks, and it's only going to be like 10 people at the beginning, but I'm going to grow it, Brother Sage, thanks to my passion, obviously, and me, but thanks to your inspiration, because I think a lot of people in London need this therapy, and we're going to have newbies and we're going to have Zooms. So maybe you guys can join us on Zooms and give your own experience and share with us. And we can have live music, keep it fun, but also some serious stuff. Me, Matt said I can talk, and anyone wants to share their wisdom on urine therapy and testimonies. But yeah, so basically, we're the UK London branch. We're going big in the UK, working hard, and in the physical, because Zooms are good, but we you know, like you do, Bro Sage, in the real world is very important. So thank you.
It is. And if anybody wants to know what we did here in Boulder, Colorado, it's not difficult at all to use one of the meeting rooms over at your downtown public library. All you have to do is reserve it online and get a room that'll hold 10 to 20 people. So this is how we started off. We set up a meetup.com group. We started with 6 people, ended up 8 people, 10 people, and then we reached out to Channel 9, Channel 7. They showed up. They did their video footage. That led into getting permission from the downtown Boulder business websites so that anybody within a 25-mile radius would know about us. And it grows from there. And then 3 months ago, I went out on the streets to test it to see if people were ready to hear about this in a plaza that has a very popular setting. It's called Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. And they have thousands of people in the height of the season walking up and down, going to these shops and restaurants and live music and Bucksters and all this. So I set up with the help of 3 students. One was holding the camera. And in one day, in 4 hours, we had 35 visitors. So, you know, put yourself out there. If it sounds like you're being pulled and drawn toward doing that and you got resistance, you can tell your resistance to sit down and just keep going anyway. Because there are things that take over you, and the things you would have held back and were shy about don't come up anymore. You guys are fearless and you're bulletproof. So I'm behind you 100%. We can make this work even better and better. Okay. Next question. What best describes, oh, here it is. Who's doing urine fasting?
Well, I'm doing the intermittent urine fasting with the looping with the fresh, starting in the morning and about halfway through the day.
Okay, that counts.
And that's a daily, that's every single day. So every single day, no questions asked, 4 tall glasses looped. I'll have a nice cleansing bowel movement, and then I'll be completely cleansed, ready for the day. That's how I truly feel every day. So.
Well, it's working for you, Sydney. You look great. Look at his skin. This is really
thank
nice.
you.
Forehead, cheeks, everything great. Have you noticed? And I've been doing a 24-hour urine fast at least twice a month right now. I'm going to bump it up as much as I can. But I noticed that at the end of the day, I gave massage clients. I had a class. I did my 3.5-mile hike. Did housework. At the end of the day, at some point, it occurred to me I didn't crave anything. And it's great to know that the things that used to steal your attention, food, drugs, sex, conversations, internet, blah, 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 doesn't pull you away. And I think there's some power in the Shivambu that gives us some added strength to be able to do things with our will and not fall prey to, all the addictions and bad food choices and all the other stuff, which a lot of people are struggling with. And more people are saying that the more they fast, the more they move into raw foods, fruit, et cetera, fasting, enemas, massage, and so forth. Their chemistry changes, which means their addictions drop away because they're not being run by either chemistry or parasites. So it's nice to be free of all that. All right, next question. What best describes your involvement or activities as your participation in the Shivambu movement? how are you guys plugged in, and where do you see yourself going with the Shivambu movement other than just in your local area?
I mean, I don't try to hog the mic, but again, I've been doing like a lot of meetings, shamanic ceremonies, through different entheogenic medicines, of course, and tying that back into the urine therapy. It's been great for me because what I found is in the psychedelic community, a lot of those guys are trying to better themselves, and it's just like they don't know how. You know what I mean? It's just they've never heard of distilled water, they've never heard of Shivambu. So I find myself in many communities, both religious, spiritual, right? All type of health and fitness stuff. So I mean, I'm very busy all the time. I mean, I have I had to make time for this today, and then as soon as I'm done with this, I'm off to the next thing. So, I'm right there beside you, brother. I think it's amazing times that we're living in, and as the time goes on, I think more and people will come to the truth. And I think that's what's really the whole crux of this issue is if we're both perfect creations, sent here from God, my truth is your truth. And I hate to break that to you, but we should all be doing the same thing. And I get a lot of backlash from that, especially in these psychedelic communities where they just can't comprehend that. They want to be different, they want to be themselves, and I say that's fine, but we can all use the same most powerful healing protocol known to our species, and we shouldn't judge each other about it. I think that's what's most important.
Thank you. I would add to that the collective consciousness, or humanity in general, has heard the terms distilled water. They've heard the terms urine. They've heard the terms urine therapy. They've heard these terms fasting, colonics, enemas. They've heard it for the last 50, 75 years. They just haven't shifted their perception to hear it, to acknowledge it, to bring it into their life. And it's people like us that ring the bell. All of a sudden they remember, oh yeah, this is good for me. I read about it. Tell me more.
Yep.
And so you're breaking new ground. Here comes McLean from out in Carlsbad, California. Hi, McLean. She's going to set up here. You guys know who McLean is? She's on the board of directors at the Shivambu organization. She's putting together a newsletter #2, and she's getting all set up here.
Hey, you were asking what we're doing. I'm going to be interviewing Tuche for newsletter #2. So we're going to have exclusive interviews on the newsletter. Yes.
Nice. Well, Indira Vijay, Indira and Vijay. Unfortunately, they didn't make it this morning, but Indira Gupta, she's been a social activist for like 45 years, and she's been part of behind the scenes of helping humanity. And you've met her. She's a fireball, and she gives me these assignments. I'm going, I really don't want to do that, Indira, but I do it anyway. One of the assignments was we put her in front of a camera, and she did a spontaneous 1-minute pitch about Shivambu. You might have caught that on my YouTube channel. So she's asked everybody else. She's asked Matt. She's asked McLean. She's asked me, can you do a 1-minute, maybe Harry, a 1-minute promo about Shivambu and the Shivambu movement? And we want to ultimately splice all these together into about a 5 or 8 minute segment. So if you guys want to do that with us, let me know.
That sounds great, actually. I'd love to get a minute on that. A lot of you may know me as David Thornhill on Facebook. Of course, So I'm Sydney Webb, by the way. That's my birth certificate or whatever. But yeah, I go by many different names. But I'm just here to help. In any way possible on all different levels. But I think as long as we can discuss the truth, I think that's something worth discussing. Because as you mentioned, a lot of people, they find themselves distracted, right? Their attention's grabbed by something that they're resonating with in their current now, right? And eventually we'll cross paths with these people, and we just need to uplift them. We don't need to shove urine down their throats. We need to just speak truth, and I guarantee you, bliss will come out of it. So, have some patience. Don't rush into it, especially if you're new to this, because that's what I did when I first found out. I was like, this is the holy grail, let's tell everybody, you know what I mean? And I was right there with you, but what I found is that wasn't getting anything done. You know what I mean? Every person has their path, and you need to be the light along the way for that person to really continue on the same path, right? So, pace yourself. I think Brother Sage is doing a very good thing here. And I hope that everyone, and of course myself included, can take something away from the conversation as we move forward and we really truly enter the age of Aquarius.
Thank you.
Second what Sydney said, I resonate with that. Everyone comes to urine therapy at their own time, and that also could include acceptance of the fact, as hard as we know the actual truth that every urine is good for every human, even animal urine is good for humans. But even in this incarnation, some people will never understand it. So it's a journey as much about ourselves and our own growth, and learning not to be triggered when people don't understand something so powerful as this, and to accept people as they are, because some people won't ever get it. As long as we understand it and we plant seeds, which is what everyone is doing here with all their missions, that's okay, isn't it? So you're just planting a seed with the ones that are ready, whilst learning the real skill of not getting attached and hurt and annoyed when someone doesn't resonate with what we know is the truth. And everyone watching this in the future is going to watch and say, oh yeah, people come to it when they're ready. And like I said, some people aren't ready. Amanda, you've been ready. You was ready for it. I was ready for it. Everyone here is ready for it, but some people aren't, and that's okay. And we work with the ones that are okay. We don't fight the system for the ones that aren't. We just work for the ones that are.
It's just the system trying to make out that we're dirty again, isn't it? It's like saying that we're full of this dirty communicable virus that you can pass on, whereas we're not. We're beautiful, we're sacred, and we've got all these special orders that protect us and look after us. So we're breaking the matrix, and it's all breaking it down.
Yeah, urine therapy is a great entry for people into awakening of the lies of the system, because it's the biggest lie, I think, for me, for a lot of you, one of the biggest lies out there. Does everyone here know where they learned it? It was a waste product. I don't remember where. Someone told me.
We learned it. We learned it during potty training.
Yeah, that's right.
You learned it when you were told to aim at the round object called the toilet and to pull the lever. And somehow,
and to don't touch it, and to wash your hands.
Yeah, somehow it jumped on our hands.
Ooh,
we might touch something.
But touch tap water though. Wash your hands after peeing with tap water.
Yeah,
smart, isn't it?
I remember one of the first things I thought when I came to urine therapy was, oh my God, you'd be washing your hands before.
Yeah.
I mean,
nowadays I just wash my hands after.
Right, or wash your hands with your urine. Oh.
Yes.
McLean, good
morning.
morning.
And pee in swimming pools. I hope everyone watching this and you guys are all peeing in swimming pools. If you ever dare to go in a swimming pool, mind you.
Usually goes purple, doesn't it?
Does it?
Yeah, they've got a special dye in there.
We all pee in the bath, so the word's out.
Yeah. Even better. Yeah.
Wait, who told you?
All right, let's ask another question here. All right, you guys know what looping is, right? Ever heard of the term sip looping?
Sip looping?
Sip looping. This term came to us from Christopher McClure and Doc Mike Whittort. And sipping is basically every time you collect your water, take a sip and save the rest. This is like time-released nutrition. This is time-released nutrition. This is for people who are going, well, I don't want to drink much throughout the day. Well, if you drink something throughout the day, you're going to get nutrients into your bloodstream, into your cells, into your fascia, into your everything. That versus just take the drink in the morning and call it a day.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah. So, really good point, Brother Sage, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to try your urine as well, just to see how you...
Because it's always changing, the urine, isn't it, at different times.
It changes, the pH changes, the viscosity, the smell, the look, it changes throughout the day. And it's great to use that as your litmus test. You can look at it and see what you need to adjust, what you ate a day before. You're going, oh my God, did I have soup 2 days ago?
Yeah, or what the hell did I eat there?
Yeah.
Oh, especially like how something could be secretly really salty and I didn't even notice. My God.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Like what, guys? Like what, for example?
Oh, my favorite Indian food place. You know, it's a lot of spices and stuff, and but my Orin is way saltier than the dish in terms of taste. Of course, more salt is coming out in the urine. It concentrates that stuff. But you were talking about being surprised. That's something that came to mind.
I think a misconception is a lot of people are just like, oh, it's salty, so then they directly relate it to the salt. But if you were to sit there and you were to distill your urine and see what's actually in it at the bottom of the distiller as you remove all the water from it, that's what's actually giving it the taste. It's just not sodium, right? I mean, it's every nutrient, every mineral, every amino acid, every hormone, everything. It is everything. It is you, right? It's a direct reflection of you. And just like Brother Sage said, you can use it as almost a barometer to really see where you're at, and you'll feel the difference. I know when I was doing the age personally, I really felt how powerful it was, and it was almost too powerful to start off with, because when I kind of had an information overload, but it was what I was looking to consume. I was trying to better myself. I was very depressed. I was addicted to, harmful addictions, you know what I mean, with no therapeutic benefits. So I think anytime that you can easily replace a harmful thing with a beneficial healing hobby, that's a great thing. So even it can be on, like I said, and what Harry touched on is that everybody will have their time when they're ready, but there's little snippets of the truth that we can hand out as the seed sowers along the way, so they can be empowered and lifted up and really continue on the journey. Because trust me, distilled water is a great route. You really, when you have the practice down and you can teach someone how they've been lied to as something as simple as water and how it's medicinal, that if they drink enough of it, they will start to remove toxins from their body. And that's how I kind of found urine therapy. I got into the distilled water first as a depression cure, which, of course it works, but the urine is what takes it the next step beyond. That's really the complete temple sustenance that we can feed off of, not only as a living water, but also, like Brother Sage touched on, was a food source. Like, just like you said, when I'm doing my morning protocol and I'm doing my looping with the intermittent fast, I don't have any hunger. Like, it literally curves everything. I'm not thirsty. I'm not hungry. And I know, I'm so intuitive now that I know inside, like, I'm doing the right thing. So it's important you guys continue to do what you're doing, but let's come together as much as possible, feed off of each other. And then when we go our separate ways, we'll continue to work on ourselves and lift up others. So I mean, it's fantastic, guys. I really appreciate the call and stuff today. So I'm not going to hog the mic, but you guys go ahead.
All right, Daniel, you got your hand raised.
So somebody asked me if I've ever distilled my Orin, which I haven't, but has anybody else?
Isn't that aging it? You're distilling it when you're aging it. Oh, I see. You're putting it through the distiller.
Yeah.
Well, if I was going to distill anything, I'd rather distill my urine than distill tap water. So at least I know the stuff in the bottom of the distiller is still medicine. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Matt, have you done it?
I
think
did,
your face says a lot. Yeah.
I got such a strange result. I almost ruined my mega home distiller. Number one, just ruined, meaning it just there was a lot of sediment that I think got up into the steam unit, because apparently that the sediment is so micro, the stuff that's dissolved in Orin, that you'll get solids that'll go up into the distiller, which usually they're left behind, which speaks to how it was still urine that came out on the other side of the distiller. It was yellow. It was thickish. It really didn't pull out just pure water, which is just amazing. Probably for the reason I just described. And then the taste was like extra spicy. You know, that kind of spiciness? That just went through the roof, which I don't get
Adrian
at all.
Firewater. The Adrian Firewater.
The firewater.
Is this another curry?
Yeah.
Had you had another curry or what?
Well, I mean, I tell you, I can taste it just thinking about it. So
do you reckon that was really healthy then, Matt? I mean, logically, I think it would be, wouldn't it?
It was intolerable to drink. I don't. Well, I would have been like, yeah, it's super aged, but yeah, I heated it, I boiled it. That's the thing that makes me think that I probably killed it a little bit. But then,
Yeah, because I think
was the
boiling it
chemistry?
is ruins the speed of the urine, the quality. Because I think urine fresh and aged. The main reason fresh and aged is so powerful. We can take these debates wherever you want. I don't judge people, but I know in my heart it's just structured water. And fresh urine is structured because we're alive and amazing in our body, and aged becomes uber super fucking structured. I know, Matt, you can resonate with that. It's all about the water, isn't it? Not the nutrients. You know, it's almost like Breatharianism. It's water. But anyway, when you boil it, it's powerful. But I mean, freezing speeds up the aging process, and boiling takes away the structure of it. And that's science. So boiling it's okay, like for an enema to make it easier, but it's not my jam to do. Because if I want something to be more powerful, I'd rather take it cold in a freezer or whatever.
So you've frozen your urine as well?
I haven't done that yet, but people that say they do seems to age quicker. And even Monica Schutz talked about it in ice buckets. She's noticed when she does it in ice buckets, and we all listen to Monica here because I got into it through Monica Schutz. So yeah, you put it in cold or even the fridge with the dirty EMFs, you'd think it would harm it, but actually it speeds up. So yeah, it's a great way to, if you guys are interested, to age the urine faster. I know people watching this a lot will be like, oh, how do you do it? Age it faster. One great way is to put it in an ice bucket, put it out in the cold when it snows, and get it cold.
Huh.
So when it ages, like, does it age 3 months, 6 months? Is it a different measurement altogether?
Speed it up. Yeah, it's like a catalyst, I suppose. The cold.
It accelerates its evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Although there's a paradox there, because obviously the sunlight and the heat from a natural source like the sun does age it quicker. But if you're talking about heat artificially, it kind of ruins the structure and the main reason that the aged urine is so powerful. But that's okay because aged urine is powerful anyway. I'm only talking about semantics. And cold urine, those cold aged urine rubs, they're more powerful than the warming it up. But if you're going to warm it up just to do it, do that over not doing it at all because it's too cold. So yeah, basically I'm saying no dogma, just do what you can. But when it gets exposed to cold, urine loves it. It absolutely loves it.
I can dig on the crystalline theme there with the cold. I can dig that.
I can like
Yeah,
it.
exactly, Matt. The 4 phase of water. In between a liquid and a solid is the gel water you talk about. Urine.
Yeah.
Gel water, aged urine, gel water.
Oh, it's literally passing through that phase right between the liquid and the ice phase. All water will do that. It'll be in this 4th phase,
Plasma.
very specific type of structure.
Are we talking plasma here?
Yeah. Yeah.
We always seem to come back to plasma, and that always returns me back to the conversation about when when first responders have their accident patient in the ambulance, running them to the hospital, they inject them with plasma from one of those bags, and it drips into their arm, right? Well, we mainline ultra-filtered plasma. I mean, we drink it that's thousands of times more filtered than what they use. But I don't know if they're going to start using that, but that's what we do. One of the jokes we have, people are concerned about the sterilizing aspect of this water is that I don't know how many times I've done enemas and it drops on the floor or the bag bursts open or something happens and you can't help but laugh your ass off because you just cleaned the floor with your urine. And in the old paradigm, you go, oh my God, I put dirty water on my floor. And it's nice to be able to see it with the eyes and the perception we have now. What a joy. What a joy.
This cleaner on your own.
All right,
Yeah.
Harry,
Exactly.
we got some Harry questions here.
Okay, we'll share it. We'll try it. Yeah, go on.
I love you. Good to be on the screen with you.
I remember, Brother Sage, when we started this at the beginning, me and you, and then I took a year off, and Matt joined regularly, and I went off, and I was nice to be back again for a bit.
I might have to play some old Harry Brother Sage interviews from 3 years ago.
We have to redo one. We have to redo one. I think. Yeah.
All right, Harry, how can a person get over any negative association they have about aged urine in their mind? If they still think of it's toxic, unsterile, and disgusting, how do you help them overcome that?
Okay, I'll answer. Do you want to? How did I do it?
When I aged it, and after a year, it went really brown, And it was really, and I thought, oh, it's going to be foul. This is, because first time I tasted it, and it was like water. And I was quite shocked.
How would you get them over the aversion?
How do
I
you
make
help
them
people who
taste.
have a negative
where it's
association?
tasteless.
Oh, so she's saying, oh, the Adrian is
Yeah.
tasteless.
It was tasteless, tastes like water.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
quite shocked because of the colour of it and how long I'd had it.
How did you get it tasteless then?
I left it a year.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Oh,
Right,
right. Okay.
was
So when
it-
it gets really old, it gets tasteless. Some of them.
Was it
Didn't taste
covered or
anything.
uncovered? Was it cloth or screw on top?
I had cloth on it.
Okay. And okay, second question, guys. What do you do or tell yourself to stay disciplined and motivated to keep up your urine therapy and wellness practices? What keeps you in the game and your practice every day? This is for Haley.
Well, that's a great question. Well, I'll be honest, I don't do it every day because I go through phases in my life. But what keeps me always coming back to it is, I guess it helps to promote it to other people so that you're kind of known for it. But truthfully, it's the vibration consciousness that it gives you. And our addictions, I think we all agree here, when you become broken and go on your journeys of inspiration, desperation, your addiction to your higher consciousness. And whenever you take the fresh and definitely the aged, it gives you an elevation of consciousness that always reminds you, even if you go off the habit, oh yeah, this is the real deal. And it gives you go on a momentum run. So, I mean, I think it's really an addiction to your evolution and your how you feel inside your body and your mind. You always feel better from urine therapy, fresh and especially aged urine. So it doesn't shift your consciousness a little bit, this therapy. A lot of things do, but this one does a lot. So the jump is so huge, it literally woke me up, and quite a lot of us here, it wakes you up. So yeah.
Well,
Hi,
not all the,
Elaine. I wanted to say something about this also, about staying in it for the long term. I don't know if people know, I've been doing it for, 45, 48, maybe 50 years. And in the newsletter, I said something about, how do we stay in it for the long term? I mean, that's the point. I mean, sometimes I get concerned. I have thoughts around people when I read on Facebook pages and in general about, snorting and looping and skin and baths and enemas and eyes and ears and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all wonderful. I'm not against any of it, and soaking in it in your feet. But I need to figure out how to do it on a daily basis or not, or, like Harry said, take breaks in and out. But if you feel like you have to do everything, I get concerned about people getting burnt out, and that it's really about pacing yourself and figuring out what works. I mean, having your morning urine, unless you're really dealing with, a medical issue, drinking your urine morning, first urine is, it all has to be good enough. I'm just saying pacing yourself is really important, and that all the protocols come in handy, but you don't have to do everything. And also it depends on, who you live with and what your situation is. And people don't have time for an hourly rub every day. And so it's really knowing that it's, I don't know if I want to say good enough, but good enough is good enough. I mean, I think I said in the newsletter, the only thing you do wrong is to not do it, not
exactly.
Do
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Yeah, some urine is all better than no urine, and the key to helping people is you work with people on what they're willing to do and commit to on a regular, or like we said, as much as possible. Some people might be averse to drinking it still because of the smell, but they might be more susceptible to maybe just when they're on the toilet. It's very simple, isn't it, for guys and girls, just to put your hands over your pee and rub a small amount into your body. That might be easier. Some people might be concerned with spots, so that could be a good angle for people that are more interested in removing spots, and then all of a sudden they realize it's actually a high consciousness thing. It's not just a superficial removing spots, it goes far deeper. So people have different reasons to get into it. You just work with people whatever reason they did. I have a different reason. I think I'm like Sydney, who was, I think, is he gone? He was on earlier and he said that depression, that was something that I thought I cured until I drank urine, and it took me to another level, and mine's more mental than a physical health issue. So yeah, just work with people and whatever they're willing to do. And because there's so many ways, so Brother Sage, you know this too, you all know this, there's a Matt, like there's how many ways, guys, to do urine therapy? How many holes, how many pieces of skin? It's like loads of ways you can factor in.
So this is the lifestyle, and the lifestyle is designed individually, intuitively to everybody. Some people, they want to get ahead of disease, so they're more serious, they're more devoted, they do all the practices that they can. I've gotten to a tendency that when the bathtub is filling up, I can bring in a jar and knock out 6 or 7 protocols while the bath is filling up, in the eyes and the nose and the mouth and the ears, up and down the body, the genitals, the bum, everywhere, and then the rest goes in the bathtub and it neutralizes the chlorine, and I have a urine bath. So you have to figure out how you can do these in your life and make them work. Not everybody has the liberty and the free time. I mean, we're not living at retreat centers. We do lives. So you have to make it work any way you can. You guys keep a pee jar in your car or in your backpack?
No. Got a shiwi somewhere.
I do now. Thanks
You
to
do.
you. I have a little bottle,
Oh, true, yeah.
eyedropper bottle. And I have little jars in all my rooms. You know, last night I got a little bite. I think it must be a spider bite. I just leaned over and took my little jar and opened it up, and yeah.
Well, in one of our classes, we've got this gentleman from India, and he showed us his collection of water. He had it in every countertop. He has it stored in stainless steel drinking glasses with a stainless steel lid. He has little jars in another room, and in the bathtub he has like a 3-gallon tub where he does his foot soaks. Some people have water closets that are like, this is Guinness Book of Records kind of collection.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a lifestyle. I mean, for people that are starting the journey and they don't have people around them that are approving of it, and they're very fragile, and that's okay. And they're not, haven't made a lifestyle fully. There's ways around even doing the aged urine, because you can close the lid. You can pee in plastic or glass and close the lid, hide the bottle. And sometimes even people forget where they've hidden it. Come back to it in a few months, drink it. It won't smell. There's ways around it to live a secret lifestyle, because we all know if we just went around telling the whole world about urine therapy, the world will attack us. It'll be too much energy drain for us. So there's ways to do this lifestyle, as you said, Brother Sage. We all live in the real world. I'm with you now. I can do it. We can do it together because we're into the same thing. But if you're not, just find a way. There's many ways to do it. And eventually it'll probably become so addictive that you'll only want to date or be friends really with people that do the same thing as you mostly. So, yeah.
Well, you never know. One of my roommates is one of my students, and he was very proud that he got up to 4 ounces a day. And I was saying, well, that's a good start. When you get up to 16 ounces or a quart, let's have a serious talk. There's distances you can go with this. And I found myself doing aged urine baths, but for some reason I couldn't get the smell out of the bathroom, and it went down the hallway, and I was getting the lecture about that, and I was doing aged urine enemas in my bathroom, which I thought was farther enough away down the hall, but the smell was coming through, so I moved all my water collection into my bedroom, and for the most part I'm doing that outside. When the weather's good, you can do an Urine massage out in the backyard.
Another good one is at night. Do it at night time before you go to bed, and then the next day it's gone. The smell.
All right.
And of course, use essential oils.
Oh, Amanda just said, yeah, use essential oils too.
Frankincense, really good.
Okay, any other suggestions like lemon or orange or lime?
Eucalyptus, mint, all the powerful ones,
You have to be careful about those that have volatile oils that might like sting your genitals, or in a certain place it's sensitive. Like oregano oil, you'd be careful with.
Oh my God, yeah. I could tell you some stories about that stuff.
I mean, same with peppermint oil. If you ever drop peppermint oil in your bathtub and you got in the bath water, it doesn't take you long to get out of the bathtub because it goes right to the crotch, and you're going, oh, I wasn't ready for that.
That's funny. Coming from people that for us to put aged urine in our bath, the peppermint oil is way worse. Let's get out.
And you've got to watch it with the sun as well, haven't you? Sun exposure. If you put a bit of essential oil on you, some of them react.
I got 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm going to leave it open so we guys can talk amongst ourselves without questions here. What suggestions can you give? This is for anybody. What suggestions can you give to all the newbies and regular users that will be watching this recorded call about using urine therapy. Any suggestions or recommendations for newbies or for guys
Yeah,
that have just been started?
I'm gonna have to get out of here soon. I got to go to another meeting, but I would say that one of the most profound things that anyone that's starting to get into the distilled liquids, even trying to better themselves on the most micro level, the very hardest thing to really get across to someone is that the toxicity and like the shower water and stuff like that, because a lot everybody, because I'm from America, right? I live in Virginia, and the city water is terrible here, and that was one of the hardest addictions that I had to break, was stopping the toxicity that was coming from the tap that was absorbing directly into my skin every time I took a shower. And that's only just the water. That's not talking about the soap, the shampoo, the toothpaste, all this stuff is just full of chemicals, right? So you can drink all the urine and all the distilled water, and you can eat as healthy as you want, and you can go for your walks. But every time you take that shower, it defeats everything that you just did, because until you fully eliminate the toxins that are coming into you, you're fighting an uphill battle. What you want to do, and this is one of the best things that you could ever explain to somebody that's new to healing, right? Is that don't even touch the distilled water or the urine until you fully eliminate the toxins that that you're pouring into your temple every time that you're living, right? So step one, off of the biohazard stuff, right? Threats to humans, fluoride, chlorine, things like aluminum, zirconium, and deodorant. There's tons of stuff, go read the labels of the stuff that you put on your body, right? And like Harry and his friend touched on, essential citrus oils. If you think that you need to destroy your microbiome, right, the healthy bacteria on your body to feel clean, you're just delusional. You've been lied to, and that's fine. I was lied to too. But distilled water is all you need to cleanse yourself. It will remove everything. It's not gonna harm the beneficial bacteria that keeps your skin healthy and keeps your immune system high, right? So if I could give any piece of advice to anybody before I leave, and of course I'll be back, but uh, get rid of the toxicity. Identify what you're taking in, right? So when you can eliminate the laundry detergent, you can eliminate the soap, the shampoo, the toothpaste, the tap water showers, and replace it with things that don't harm but rather heal. That's the first step of wisdom. Okay, so I love you guys very much, Brother Sage, Harry, and everybody else in the channel. Thank you guys for having me. I'll be back. You'll see me on Facebook, right? David Thornhill. I'm on Discord, so you guys can check me out. Love you guys, and I'm off to the next one. Okay, so you guys have a blessed day.
Bless
Hope
you.
to see you again, man. Nice
Thanks,
one.
David.
Bye.
Okay, you guys take care. Thank you so much.
Okay,
And
so
since Cynthia's gone, not to
disagree.
challenge him, but I disagree with his advice in a way. I mean, just from my own life and what I've done, because urine was an awakening for me. I was eating garbage, a load of food. I was drinking tap water. It was my into health therapy. So what happened was I was very low consciousness drinking tap water. I drank fresh urine. That raised my consciousness to a level I couldn't believe. But so excited, it was free medicine. And then I got into the Facebook groups. I learned a load. Then started sharing my journey. And then I found out about all the things Sydney talked about afterwards, years after into urine therapy. So in other words, the urine, you don't need to wait to do the research and stop the toxins in. You do the urine, it becomes the in to discover all these things. I think that's what you'd agree with, Brother Sage, as well.
I
Okay,
agree.
good.
I agree.
Glad you said
Same with people say,
Harry.
should I wait till I get off my prescription drugs, my recreational drugs, my diet before I start urine therapy? I say the sooner you can start, the better. Your entire life was putting poison and junk and chemicals in your body. If you don't start, you'll keep using excuses and keep putting it off. You start,
isn't it? And I'm sure you've seen, Brother Sage, a lot of people here that on Facebook, online, people say, oh, I can't start urine therapy because my diet's not right. Oh, I'm drinking alcohol, I can't start. But then if we follow 5, 10 years, 20 years down the line, sadly, oh, they never started. And that was the excuse all along. Perfection.
Right. And sometimes I will pull the alpha male and be all, I'll be pushing at him. I'll challenge him. because it's a life or death situation, because they're letting those things run their life.
Yeah.
Well, also, like I was saying, right, to piggyback on everything that you're saying, that it sets up barriers. It's like if you have to do X, Y, Z, and elemental P, you know, you don't get to pee, and so yes, start where you are. Drinking, if all you do is drink your morning pee, if all you do, I mean, it's great. And yes, people start where they are. Wash your hands. I mean, whatever it is. And I mean, I was listening to him, and it's like, okay, and what about the food that you take in and the chemicals? That happens to be my thing, is about the chemicals in the food. But anyway, yes, start where you are. Just start.
And as a preventative measure, somebody says, well, I have a pure diet because I live off fruit and I do my urine every day, blah, blah, blah. But however, you participate in the world. So you're going to get airborne contaminants. You're going to get contaminants from other people, from animals. Right. It's coming to you from all directions. So the sooner you can start, the sooner you can get ahead of pollution that's going to be either made by you, your food, your unconscious emotions, or whatever it is. So you can be stronger to go through whatever else might come your way, and your immune system will be able to handle it. Not to mention, a lot of people who are on information and emotional overload are barely, their adrenals and their nervous system are frayed. So the sooner you can get people on this, the sooner they have a chance to keep going. McLean, your hand's up.
No, my hand. Sorry, I was just clapping.
Oh, that's a clap symbol. Well, how would I know? How would I know that?
Sorry.
So, who's joining us? Bree? Hi, Bray. You guys know Bria?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot closer to Brie recently. She reached out to me. We really hit it off. So go Water family.
Bree, say hi to everybody. Tell us.
Potential date, is it, Matt? A potential dating situation? Just tell you.
So, hi, Bray. You want to just say hi and let us know where you're coming from, where you live? You're muted. You're muted. Unmute your mic.
Whoops. I'm from San Diego. I've been doing UT for around like a year. Like, okay, 6 months, I'd say. Almost a year getting there. But yeah, from San Diego.
Well, wonderful. McLean's in Carlsbad, and we've got about 4 or 5 urine therapy teachers in the California coastline. So if you ever want to hook up with any, by the way, if anybody wants to hook up with anybody from this call, just let me know. We can pull it together. Or if you've gotten a chance to look at the Water Family Directory, I've been building a list of people from all over the world so that anybody who needs a therapist, a coach, a sympathetic heart to talk to can find someone close by. And I think a lot of people here are already listed. It's been an exciting journey. The guys at the Shivambu organization with McLean and Christopher and the Guptas, we've been building an infrastructure for the whole planet. We've been putting together petitions and fundraisers and newsletter and on and on the Shivanbu Hut. McLean, you want to add something to this?
I want to ask you a question, Brother Stage. What's your biggest goals regarding urine therapy the next either year or the next couple of years? What's your, or can you reveal this information? Is it all under wraps, secret?
My biggest goal is a world tour and meeting up with you guys and helping folks do outreach programs and create local groups and structure to make this a more solid movement. Our goal with the organization is to raise the number of pee drinkers from 30 million to 300 million and help that tipping point move over.
Yeah, that's worthy. And you're playing a huge part in it. Everyone is here. So I appreciate that. Is there another book in the works? Number 3. Are you on? You're number 3 for your
Me?
Yeah, for your, was it a urine one that you're working on? Or is there a urine therapy one?
I'm working on number 8. This is my 3rd urine
number
therapy.
8.
But this urine therapy book is a revision of the 1994 metaphysical classic by Leonard Orr called The Secrets of Youthing. And he not only unravels people's belief systems from going through infancy, senility, the unconscious death urges, but he spent a whole chapter talking about urine therapy. He calls it Shiva Kalpa, and he learned it from Shiva. And I learned it from Shiva through Leonard. That's why I'm so solid with it. So that book, we're wanting it to launch on 1/22/22.
On 22, okay. Huh.
And the price is going to be $22.22.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's in the works. Some other things in the work, which I'm not going to announce until it's a little more solid. But I'm on this 24/7. I just keep getting run on extra fuel, and I get more clients and more conversations throughout the day. And I'm so glad we do meditations here at the Sanctuary Garden where I live. And are you guys all meditating?
Oh, sort of. I'm out of saying. Not really. On and off. Wait, on and off.
I meditate walking. I meditate down the beach. I don't actually sit and meditate. Probably should, but I find that difficult.
Yeah. Well, regardless of whether you're in UK or America, meditation is not based on whether you sit in a certain awkward yoga posture or face east or say a mantra. It has to do with stilling the mind. And you can do that when you're walking in nature.
And I might add, aged urine is ridiculous for stilling the mind, such that I'm going to write another book on urine therapy. People are sick and tired of me and aged urine talking about it. They must be by now. But anyway, the next book's going to be the power of, because I went on a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, 10 hours a day, and I was drinking when you shouldn't. I took 1.5 bottles of aged urine. I drank it before the meditation, and it stills and quiets the mind, as you said, Brother Sage. So in other words, what I'm saying is the world needs aged urine before meditation, because yes, with meditation you can still the mind, but the hack is drink aged urine or do an aged urine protocol right before meditation, and then you'll know the power of aged urine, because it enhances it stills and concentrates the mind, aged urine, to a level I don't think the world's ready for, but we'll see. It really does. It's an incredible tool. So in other words, one of the best ways, if you're going to go with aged urine, is just before your meditation practice, whatever it is, take some aged urine, see how you feel.
Well, in an alternate reality, we're going to trade out that little container inside the Catholic Church with urine instead of holy water, and maybe put that at the yoga centers as people walk in to meditate. They do a little snort from the water.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I want to snort on my own.
So I'm going to read the last statement. I'm going to read my last statement here, and then you guys, we're going to leave it open for another 15 minutes, and you can talk about whatever you want. I want to thank you, dear water sisters and brothers, for not only being a guest on this World Urine Therapy conference call, but for your devotion to the Shivambu journey and spreading the message to the world. It's because of guys like you that more people around the world are hearing this message and are getting their lives back. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the good work. So
can I ask Bria her story on urine therapy? I don't know a lot of you, but she just popped on, so I thought, I don't know if she shared before, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, tell us about your first year.
It was good. I noticed a lot of key differences. My health, I think in general changed, like my energy changed. Yeah, I mean, I've been drinking aged a lot lately, like just recently. I think I just like last month, and it makes me feel really calm, like drinking aged. But yeah, lots of health benefits. It cleared up some skin issues I had. So.
And so how's your clarity of mind or your energy throughout the day?
My energy throughout the day, really, really well. Really good, actually. I feel energized through the day. I used to have like really bad anxiety, like a general just anxiety, like, and I didn't really know the reason why. But now I have like no anxiety. So
nice. Has anybody, since doing urine therapy, became inspired to do something you've always wanted to do, but never did, like learn how to play the piano, or learn how to play...
my husband.
Oh yeah.
I left my husband. Basically, that's what came out of it.
All right.
We just went on different paths.
That was something she always wanted to do.
Well, he was a narcissist, so it was all about self-love. I suddenly realized,
Oh, so
I
the urine
can't do
gave you
this.
the urine gave you the self-love to
This urine
the
gave me the
confidence
impetus to
to
get
give it.
out.
Yeah.
And did you throw some in his face as you walked out the door? Bless you, my brother. Bless you.
He's dead now. He's
Oh, he's-
dead now. He died 2 years ago,
Oh,
just
okay.
before COVID.
Oh, I didn't mean any disrespect.
No, none taken.
All right.
And for me, urine has because people, if you know me online, think that I'm just loud. I love to do Facebook lives, and I don't know. I'm confident, but I'm actually an introvert who's quite quiet and never talks to people publicly because I know most people it's a waste of time. However, urine's the shift in consciousness from fresh and age has given me the confidence to talk passionately about people that are ready on urine therapy. So that's what it's given me, like another personality almost of I'm confident because I know the truth of it and I will talk about it, and it's become my flow and my passion, much as it has for Matt. So yeah, it's given me a lot, you know.
Question for you, Harry. People ask, I'm sure they ask everybody here on the line, this question is, at what date would you consider aged urine measured as aged urine?
Oh,
They ask that all the time. When is it
the
aged?
eternal question. Well, I think you said today a couple of hours, and you were saying that's age.
4 hours.
4 hours, and technically it is. I think the standard in the community line is 4 days. Oh man, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? I don't think it's
John W.
for
Armstrong.
me, a couple of hours is not really age. I mean, because I'm only going for power, so I think the 4 day thing is fair. You know, it gets more powerful. 1 week, yes, you feel the difference. So yeah, and also it's a complicated question because we know some things age it faster. If you put it outside with the lid open, you put it in a freezer bucket, you put it in the sunrise, sunset sun, you put it in an environment that's got less EMFs, it's going to age faster. So it's really hard to say.
I'd say 9 months.
Oh, and that's a good answer. 9 months.
Yeah.
Is that because of the birth thing? Yeah.
I like to
Roslyn,
see
I think.
everything done in threes. Everything done in threes works better, right? That's honestly where
3
my mind was going.
trimesters.
Yeah.
Well, so what would you say, Matt? Is aged? What would you say is aged?
Well, that 9 is kind of like completion of 3 threes.
Yeah, 9 months. Roslyn says that as well. I think Dr. Ross.
Kind of.
Like
Dr.
9
Ross
months.
says 9 months.
Who does?
Dr. Rosalind Hanson, who's been drinking urine since she was 9 years old.
Oh, God bless.
Wow. Yeah.
Bunmi's been drinking since he was 10 years old. Bunmi Samola from Nigeria.
Yeah.
It was John W. Armstrong from Water of Life who came up with the measurement of 4 days.
Oh, was it him? Okay, yeah.
And changing the subject, for the people who are still following the tradition of the Damar Tantra that says leave the beginning and the end of the flow, throw it out, and just drink the midstream, it tells you that it's superstition in the Damar Tantra, because one verse over, if you'll read it, one verse over, it says, it's symbolic of a snake and it will kill you or poison you from the head to the tail. But we know every drop is precious, so that old superstition doesn't fit in 2022.
No, we love dragons.
I didn't even know that, Brother Sage.
It's
That's
so
interesting.
symbolic. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's in the
Although there's we know that aged, the bottom and the top, it purifies itself. It's all amazing, but it does seem to have the best quality aged in the middle, doesn't it? With the aged urine, if you leave the bottle and keep it still, that's interesting. But yeah, I'm with everyone. Like, oh please, that's just another. It goes back to what we said earlier. Oh, I've got to drink the midstream. I've got to overthink this process. Oh, what time? Oh no, I've taken pharmaceuticals. Oh no, I've got the wrong diet. Oh no, I'm not ready for it right now because I drank a little bit of alcohol. And it's like, oh, just jump in, just try it for yourself.
Right. Well, the two things that Harry and I are constantly pounding into people in your heads is, A, it's an intuitive medicine, so you don't have to ask a teacher or a therapist or any of us guys, what's the perfect way, how much, blah, blah, blah. It's intuitive. The second thing is that your body's guiding you, not so much your mind. Don't worry about this process. You know, Harry's been using this term a lot. No dogma, no rules. You don't have to do what people do. It's your water.
Yes, you're into becoming your own doctor. And your urine is an example of how powerful your body is. Mm-hmm. Hence why they call it a waste product. It's so powerful. A dying man's fresh urine will save his life. That's the power. He might be on death's door and his dying urine has the potential to save him. That's the power of what you're dealing with.
Currently, there is an article being circulated in Instagram, maybe Telegram, by a guy named Essie God. What's his name? Anyway, he put this article about a guy who spent 133 days on the ocean. And in Wikipedia, his name is Fu Lin. And it says that he ate fresh fish and blood from the fish, and he did all this stuff. But what they left out of the article, and he figured it out, is the guy survived on his urine for 133 days. But Wikipedia just somehow left it out of the article.
Yeah.
And you might find that in other articles about guys who survived out in the ocean or survived out in the desert. By the way, it's the Army Manual for Survival that says the only time you can drink urine in the military is when you're in a survival situation. Aren't we in it every day? Every day is a urine day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another argument people will often say, and that's okay. We just got to learn to accept it. It's just that they'll only ever drink it in this lifetime if it's in a survival situation. Oh, that's a shame because it's medicine. You know, it's more than survival. I mean, that's an insult almost to the medicine. It's not survival medicine. It's thrival medicine. We don't take it here for survival. We pass that stage. It's thrival, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tribal.
And what's constantly amazing is that with all the now you guys are already tuned into what's going on in the world scene and how it's a spiritual battle between light and dark and everything that's going on right now. If they decide to take away our food supply or take away our supplement prices and all that disappears, we're good to go as long as we can pee and put our hand out.
Be better actually.
Yeah.
For me. I can't wait for them to ban me from the supermarket. Yeah, the supermarket. I don't want to go there anymore.
Well, thank you.
Right. It's easier to be about the detox lifestyle when you can't go and toxify yourself.
And I think everyone here can relate to the fact that we probably all know, and people watching this, that urine fasting is the ultimate. However, all of us can relate to the fact that we know urine fasting is the ultimate for our health and vibration, but we don't do it as much, even us, as much as we could. So if the powers that be decide to take away all the food, as you suggested, Brother Sage, they wouldn't want that because they know that the hardcore urine therapists that have been procrastinating, even like us, are doing long urine fasts, would actually do it. So they really won't.
And they'd see us all thriving and think, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's an energetic buffer.
Well, years ago,
because I know Matt, you're hardcore, but I mean, we don't do 100-day urine fast. We live in the real world, don't we? There's food everywhere.
Harry, you think I nebulize every day and fast every day? Neither of these things are true. I think about them every day. Go, I'm not fulfilling my unreasonable thoughts about myself. But you know what I'm learning from Brother Sage and Harry, especially ratified today, is listening to my body, and my body wants like what my mind wants too. It's just going to do it in a much more reasonable pace. I mean, sorry, just because this is kind of a heavy topic, I want to relate to something real quick. Just did this Zen cleanse thing and got a whole lot of mucus out of my intestines, and my gut is completely different. My relationship to food is completely different because I removed a ton of mucus. So I just want to add that to the conversation. I mean, urine therapy and mucus.
That's tied in because what you just said, Matt, is Zen cleanse basically, guys, is a fermented fruit, and that's tied in because we know urine fermented is amazing.
And
everything
it's just amazing to pull mucus. That's what the urine therapy.
Everything fermented is amazing to pull mucus. Fermented fruit. I think it's 3-year-old in Zen cleanse.
Just trying to relate back to urine with the. This seems to be like an anti-mucus medicine in a big way.
Particularly up here. Do you remember the story about Dr. Sebe? He was doing urine therapy and he went blind for 3 days. And he kept putting it over his eyes and discovered all this mucus and phlegm was coming out of his brain and his sinuses. And then his sight came back after 3 days.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, better out than in, man. Yeah, but no kidding, Harry. The enzymes, and yeah, I think there's enzymes in here. That's living. That's one of the reasons why it might be problematic to heat it up, is it might kill the enzymes.
Yeah.
But the mucoid. Hey, cheers. Mucoid plaque in the intestines is real, and my God, that's how I was going to relate it to discipline. is whether it be parasites or mucus, because honestly, I mean, parasites are in the mucus. Maybe that's the way to get around that. Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard there's eggs.
There are eggs anyway.
Oh, the Lord. But with that stuff in me, I mean, after I got it out, I had so much more sympathy for the states I was in. It made so much more sense. And I only could get it once it came out. So that sucks. You don't get it until you're over it.
Yeah, mucus is definitely a huge. I think everyone has too much mucus in the body, and the fermented urine really, and especially when we fast with aged urine, but even aged urine anyway, when you don't fast, it really helps for whatever reason clear out the shit. It seems to know, and also it leaves behind the good stuff. Like people say with distilled water, doesn't it take away the good stuff too? No, the urine doesn't. When you re-ingest urine fresh for age, it doesn't take away, because your body has a unique intelligence. What an insult to your creator, whoever that is, to say that it's taken away the bad with the good. No, it was created as your medicine. So if it's created as your medicine, of course it doesn't take away the bad and the good. It only focuses in on the bad and seems to remove all of the bad in the body, the age.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me and Matt, we met over this. We met over last year through urine. You were doing a very powerful supplement, and I found out you were doing aged urine as well. And I was like, yes, this is my bro.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that I found a urine therapy dude on the root thing. Harry, have you done the Zen cleanse yet?
I haven't. No, I've been procrastinating.
Man, you're not gonna believe it.
Well, yeah. there was just a video with Mr. Thomas, Clayton Thomas, and some Patriots, Sasha Stone and Michael Jacko. And they went full detail, including his wife, Ramu, what's her name?
Oh, Christine.
Dr. Ram.
Dr. Ram, yeah. So if these guys are doing root and Zen clean, can we get them talking about urine therapy? Can you get Harry?
The funny thing is, I think me and Matt have planted a seed in Clayton. Clayton's well aware of urine therapy now, and he doesn't bash it. So yeah, I have actually moved people. I think you have too, Matt. We talked to a few people in the root community that are now doing urine therapy.
Yeah,
that's how we work, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's nice to get the thought out there. And if we're consistent, if we live our lives consistently, we don't drop out of the posting about it game and the showing up to this, that's gonna be really deep and meaningful, because it's a huge shift, like we keep talking about.
Yeah, and you, Matt, were the first person to use that root clean slate and loop your urine. I think you literally are the only person in the world that was doing those two things, because the root clean slate is a heavy metal detoxifier. It does actually pull out most of the toxins into the urine, so you'd think intuitively, oh, you can't do urine therapy, but it seems, Matt, that you was doing it and getting results. So we had to develop a theory why it's
I mean, I want to let McLean speak here, but just the fact that I did it and I didn't die, and it seems like the kidneys are picking up the toxins found in the zeolite, interpreting it as a harmless salt, which the kidneys will readily excrete. So I think it speaks to just how powerful a good zeolite is for neutralizing toxins, and then re-ingesting it seems to have a homeopathic effect, a little bit of poison in a manageable. Either way, I'm not dead. I've been looping clean slate and pee for like 2 years.
Yeah, it's still alive and thriving. Good.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question to the whole group?
That shows how safe urine is too. Shows how safe urine is.
McLean is up next. She put her hand up.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to ask, I've read that copper is the best, or a really great thing to store urine in. And so I have a copper container, and I recently started storing it in it. And when I would take off the top, I would notice all the blue, that it turned it blue, and I attached little droplets on the top of the container. So I was just in my bathroom, and I took a little scoop of what's in the container, and my pee has turned blue. So what is that? I mean, I would not be inclined to drink that. What is people's experience with copper?
It's Krishna pee.
Yeah, well, it turns green as well. I drink it, but it's don't taste great actually. I put it in the bath in the end, or
Oh,
Is it blue or green you want?
it's blue and green, yeah. But
Mm.
I'm a RH negative, so I'm copper blood. So I don't understand, because I do hear that you can get quite poisoned, can't you, by taking it too much copper? But I don't know where I stand with that. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Well, copper is
I know it won't.
copper's mentioned as one of the vessels or pots to store
Yeah.
urine in the Damar Tantra, along with brass and gold and plantain leaves and coconut shells. That's in the list.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Right,
that
but it
when
seems
it goes
really-
green or blue, for most people, I do think there is such thing as copper toxicity, and an indication of copper toxicity is when it goes green. Because I've not done many experiments, but when it has gone green and I put it up the bum, I got depressed afterwards, and I'm never normally from Asia and enemas. So I do think there is such thing as having too much copper. By the way, this is only urine that's really old, because obviously the older it is, the more pulling power. I don't mean what Brother Sage said, like fresh urine, a couple of days old. I don't think that's a problem with copper. I'm talking about the really old stuff. It might be an issue. When it changes color, I'd worry for most people, although
I put it in my bath.
you say it's okay. So some people
Put in
maybe
the
have a
bath.
blood type where it's okay. But
Yeah, so I don't know if it's because I'm copper blood. I
All
don't
right,
know.
Thomas. Thomas, let's hear from Thomas.
Yeah, do people hear me good? Do
Yeah, go ahead,
everyone hear
brother.
me?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I have bought like carafels, where I can that lead crystal, and I wonder if it was safe for me to store it in lead crystal bottles.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, well, what's your take on that? Because it's going to be intuitive.
Yeah, it's like
what we would say.
I have tried to ask the urine about it, but I haven't got any question answer back about the safety of storing it in that. So today I always use this Voss water. You maybe heard about it. These are like heavy glass, 800 milliliters. It's very nice for looping all the urine and storing it. Yeah. So
And the mouth is wide enough to get in there, get the tube in there.
Yeah, for the girls as well. It's big one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like very big.
That's a liter? Is that what that is?
No, 800 milliliters.
Yeah.
800.
Yeah, you had some like serious separation of sediment there at the bottom of one of them you showed.
Yes, I have many battles. I have many battles from the 20th of May, the 27th May. Yeah, I received the knowledge from the creator, because we are in the age of Aquarius, and I am Aquarius, so I got this knowledge. But I also have a very long trip with magical mushrooms like Liberty Cats and things like that. And then on a big trip, the mushroom told me that I am a refinery, I'm a living distiller, and I purify and I distill everything I consume. So if I consume an orange that has life energy, that is distilled water, then I purify the spirit of it. You understand what I'm saying? And the key is to have a flow of water in our bodies, because we haven't drink water forever, So when we drink pure water, a minimum 1 gallon a day, 1 gallon, 4.5 liters minimum. And I used to drink at least half a liter or the whole bottle in one go, because then I create internal pressure in my body to flush the system. If you drink 500 milliliters and you don't get, after a few minutes, if you don't get a rush to the body, then you get a high fever, then do 0.8 or maybe 1 liter. You will feel the effect of that you're starting the detox program. But if you're only giving it 500 and it needs 600, it won't do the detox. You understand?
Yeah,
because,
so you have to find the right quantity.
Yeah, for yourself. But when you chug 1 bottle at a time, it's not much when you take 1 gallon because it's like 800, you know, so it's like 6 of this. And if you're going for 1.5 gallon, it's like 8 of them. But it's easy. And I start always in the morning. But if the morning is very strong, then I use half of with just distilled water or juice. And then I fill it with the morning so it doesn't strong. But then I just chug it. So yeah, it's
Excellent.
better to use it or not to drink it at all, you know. So
Nice. Can I ask, where are you from, Thomas? Where are you from? Are you Swedish?
No, I'm from Norway.
Norway. Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a geek for this stuff. I like it.
Yeah. And I was like, because I was going to drug test, you know, and then I figure out, okay, why do they want the blood plasma? Because I figure I was taking a blood sample, and then I'm talking a lot, you know, so I was like seeing the yellowing in the blood sample. That's the blood plasma. And then I figure out why they just want the urine, and they can find the same in the blood sample. And then I said, yeah, that's blood plasma. And then I was like thinking about, yeah, I'm a distiller, and everything was like clicking, you know.
Yeah,
and then I figured out it was because and it was this is my old water knowledge, you know, the Aquarius water knowledge. We bring the knowledge of water to the people, and we need it. You understand?
Yeah. How long have you been practicing, Thomas? How long have you been?
The 20th of May. The 20th of May, I figured it out. I was doing it for 6 days. Then I told my doctor and my psychology, you know, and then they sent me to psychiatric. They said I was in psychosis and things like that. And then they could only keep me for 24 hours because I know the laws and I know rules and things like that. But they could keep me for 10 days. And if I stay too much, they could keep me for as long as they want, you know, because this system.
Meaning all raw
That's
food?
huge.
Well, I mean, vegan.
Okay, all vegan, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely stick to raw as much as I can.
Do you miss cooking? I miss cooking.
Well, okay, I don't really have to cook. I mean, I kind of, it's a little humbling to admit, but I pay rent to my parents. But when I get asked what I want for lunch, I'll say salad. So.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you order off the menu. Very good.
Yeah, so we definitely, the whole family eats a lot more salad and vegetables as a result. So they've been talking about how I'm a good influence on them, and I have a water distiller. But you know, a couple other things I wanted to mention is, I don't know if this might be helpful to some people. One thing I've learned is that if I wanted to wash my eyes, I'll put some in the palm of my hand and put it up here, and it's almost like it's almost like a suction cup. So like you can wash your eyes out really well with that, and then also put some in the palm of your hand, and then tip your head so it goes right into your ear. Let that kind of wash, and then let that come out and behind the ear. And
not to interrupt, Daniel, I like that because that means no tools. Like an Etiquette's cheap, but you're just talking about your hands and fresh urine.
Totally, the palm of your hand.
Like, just do that.
And you know, I have to give credit to Brother Sage because he was saying that. He was saying you might not have a cup. Yeah, you got the palm of your hand, right? So.
Yeah, because people think they can't do urine therapy, and I certainly learned. One of the first ways I did it was I went to the urinals, and obviously we pee out the front, and no one was watching to the side, so I just splashed a bit on my tummy. Everyone could do it without a cup. You know, and what you just said, Daniel, just do this, do that. Or even quietly, and you can just go into the toilets. If you're worried about other guys seeing, you just hide in the toilets.
But also, like, even if I'm standing in front of the sink and I've got it in a cup, then I just put some in the palm of my hand and then use that to wash my eye, use it to wash my ear. And I've also found, so I used to wash my face with it, and then I still remember when I went like this, and I could hear my ears telling me, okay, this is really good, but this cannot be all I get, not for one moment. Like, I am dry, so thank you for this, but I got to have more. I'm like, okay, more. So now it's been to the point of just put it in the ear and then let it out, and then, but it's got to go behind the ears. And then I've also discovered my forehead I'll take my hand, put it on my forehead, and saying, "Yes, please, more now."
Back of your neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
back of, when I
Oh
say
yeah,
the
yeah,
neck.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thomas, thank you,
Yeah.
Dan. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah. The key is really to loop it every time, because for every time we loop it, it becomes purer and purer and purer, and it will become powerful activated urine to power up our Merkaba. You know the Merkaba, anyone? Merkaba shield to harmful radiation and 5G towers. And of course, we will activate our pineal gland, our philosopher's stone, you know, the philosopher's stone, because turning lead into gold when we are drinking and looping and looping and looping, it's decalcifying it. And cooked foods, when you heat the food over 105 degrees, everything in the food is dead. It's poison because it's creating toxins in the food that has similar structure as cocaine and heroin. So actually all the people in the world are working to feed their drug addiction on food. Yeah. So only eat living raw foods, like an orange, fruits, vegetables.
I think that's great advice, Thomas. I love it, and you're new to this. You're looping. Have you ever tried aged urine yet?
I have done some. I done some 3-4 days old urine. That's the maximum.
That's good. I'd suggest for your journey, and you know a lot, and we're all helping it. But I mean, I think for you, and you're new, I think if you get a couple of weeks old and mess about with that, you're in for a surprise. If you've only done 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. I was thinking, can I? I was thinking about, can I do fresh and take some drops with age to it?
Do
Just
it.
to get
Enema.
Okay to drink it. You understand what I'm saying? Like pinky in the, but you know, that just in drops in the fresh. Is that okay?
For me, no dogma. You can do what you want with aged urine. You can pour it a little bit. You can have little drops in your ears, amazing. Eye drops, amazing. And that way the medicine really goes in. You can do enemas with it. You can dilute it down if you don't want to go hardcore. You can, there's so many ways to do it, the age. But you're in for anyone that's not only done 4 days old. There's much more powerful out there.
But
I
have from May 27, 2021. Wow. So that's the very age.
Thomas, yes. Write down your discoveries, because it's folks like you that are coming up with new protocols and new discoveries that we hadn't figured out yet. So keep digging.
We all do it together. We all have the puzzles because we all have. I tell people, trust your body and your instincts. Yeah, but I always tell people about the detox, and they ask me what kind of detox, and I just tell them that your body will let you know because it will. You understand? But for me, I really discovered that if I do high pressure in my body, you understand what I'm telling? If you the difference between taking 0.5 and 0.8 of the pressure down the hatch, you know,
down the tube.
But distilled water is so smooth, so you can do it with the tap water because it's garbage, you know. It has distilled water is pure water, and it has a negative charge to it, and all deadly things for the body has a positive charge, and we are water-based beings, you know. And its urine contains about 3,000 different chemicals in it, and all known about chemicals is about 2,500 or maybe just 2,000. So we have like 1,000 chemicals that isn't invented yet.
Now these are just what's been discovered.
Yes, correct.
Take that in.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, we're going to close here, but if you want to see how many products contain urine, go to Wikipedia and type in urea or carbamide. And there's a whole list of products that are disguising urea under the medical term carbamide. And you'll find out there is more products, skin, hair, cosmetics than we've been led to believe. This is how much it's saturating our world, but people don't get it because it's disguised under other names.
What to say? So if an ingredient says carbamide on a moisturizer, are you saying that's urine?
Yep.
Yes.
Go to Wikipedia and it explains it. It shows a molecular breakdown. And the more and more this confirmation and information is coming through from all different social media platforms, I'm trying to grab it and store it up as much as possible, all this information. So anything you discover, let's get it out to the world.
Yeah, and I was thinking like trying to grow a crystal in one of the aged urine to get some kind of things, because I'm thinking if I eat bananas, I get a lot of potassium in it, and if I eat some other things with a heavy kind of minerals, I get other things. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And gold and silver are the two correct pure metals in the world. The perfect metals.
Gold.
Look at this, the sun and the moon.
AU, the symbol for gold, isn't it? AU in the periodic table. Aged urine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auto urine therapy.
So, silver is very good, so get all you can. It's
wonderful.
And Thomas, quickly, Thomas, a collide of gold and silver is in the urine. As you said, there's definitely gold and silver in the urine. There's everything. It's all in there.
Yes, yes. But if you eat, you take, you know, shaga mushroom, shaga, you know, shaga.
Yes.
It contains a silver.
Really?
Yes. So
wow.
if you steal everything from it, from the urine, you just need chemistry set. And you know, the book of Aquarius is an allegory for the urine therapy.
I was hoping it was, yeah.
Yeah, because if you go and listen to the book, all urine therapy quotes from the 1700s. It's amazing. And you understand when it's something you don't do in a chemistry lab, you do it through your body.
Yeah.
So we are a ball of light. You understand?
Yes, I do. Now, guys, I got to close off the call, but Thomas, I would love to have you create some kind of video of what you've shared today, either an instructional video or just in an educational video, because you're a wealth of knowledge, and I'd love you to be more involved with the community and with the world movement.
Second that, yeah. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Knowledge. And very important thing, urine drinking is higher learning. And if you have people in your friends, family, doesn't matter. If people are like in a lower vibrational, because you will rise higher vibrational. So many people in your life that doesn't want you any good or so like that will get removed because you're protected by the creator.